Very good afternoon, friends. So today, again, I'm back with another topic. This time, this is a very familiar topic. तारे ज़मीन पे मूवी में जो दिखाया गया था, वो टॉपिक के साथ आया हूँ. Learning disability. This is one condition that has got so much of attention of late. What is learning disability? This is something that is as mesmerizing as it turns. Learning involves a lot of things. Learning can be defined as a relatively permanent change in memory when there is something that you are imbibing from the outside environment that has been stored in your mind, okay, for a longer time, for future use. That can be called learning. Now, when you don't have the ability to either imbibe things from the environment or to store or to retrieve what is being stored, all of these can affect learning. So a learning disability can be a disability in imbibing things from the environment, in storing what you have actually imbibed, and later inability to use what is already been stored. A lot of people do not understand so comprehensively what learning disability is all about. Usually sometimes what happens is that child, maybe your child, my child, the teachers come to you, get back to you with a complaint that the child is very active, he seems to be quite intelligent also in all activities other than academics or study related activities. So they feel that there is a discrepancy between the activity level and the intelligence level of the child and the scores that he fetches on exams or any kind of evaluation. So there is this discrepancy which is confusing the teacher whether the child is putting in enough effort or not, because on all other counts the child is exceptionally good, but except on academics where he is not that good. So in comparison, looking at his ability, this is not the performance that you're expecting from this child. Many times parents either pressurize the child to again and again try to get better marks. When he doesn't succeed in that, they punish him or they end up scolding the child. Same other thing happens in school also, because the teacher too thinks that the child is not performing to his ability or to her ability and punishes the child very often, belittles the child because saying that he is not putting in enough effort, and this leads to low self-esteem in the child. What happens is that there are different kinds of learning disability. Again, this is another confusing point, because some people who are very good at language can be very bad at math. Some people who are very good at writing can be very poor in reading. Some people who are very good in both reading and writing can be very poor in spatial skills. So the learning disability can be very exclusive in one particular area and not in another area. It doesn't affect another area. So you cannot imagine that a person who can very well speak on stage is not able to write. A person who can actually recite poetry and who can actually give an elocution beautifully is not able to actually read properly. So this is exactly the problem that happens in learning disability. It's a very confusing disability. So what happens when a person has a learning disability in one area? Because the person might, for example, if the person is not good in math and he is being regularly pressurized to perform better and better, coached to perform better but doesn't succeed, there ensues a low self-esteem in that particular area. Now this low self-esteem, this lack of confidence in self in doing well in one particular area creeps on to the other area too. In general, just because of the problem in one area like reading, writing, math or spatial ability, all other area tends to get influenced because of a low self-esteem ensuing in one area. Many times, parents as well as teachers fail to recognize this. So what can you do in the case of a learning disability? The reason for a learning disability is largely unknown, though there are hypotheses which says that it might be due to some kind of a neurological problem in the brain. We don't have a concise, precise theory on why learning disability happens. but we know that it is some kind of a congenital condition. It is there right from birth. If you ask me, is there any way to treat learning disability? Of course, not an easy thing to do. Till now, we do not have something to really treat learning disability because we do not know why it is there in the first place. But yes, there are certain neurorehabilitation techniques in neuropsychology and cognitive psychology which can help such people with small aids and small techniques to overcome their disability. For example, there can be some kind of a technique to learn the multiplication table. There can be some kind of a technique to do a particular math, some kind of a technique to ensure that you are writing on a straight line, some kind of a technique that you don't reverse the letter that you are writing. So such techniques and such rehabilitation processes are available in order to help them overcome their disability a bit. And of course, once a person is certified as learning disabled, then the government too provides certain concession in certain subjects. They can take another subject in place of this subject. So all those facilities are also available in the academic arena. So understand when someone has a learning disability. And second thing, when you find that your child has any kind of learning disability, encourage the other areas is strong. For example, if the child has a problem writing, encourage him to use the laptop, encourage him to use electronic media, the electronic kind of a communication system where auto spell check is there and where auto kind of correction mechanism is there, and he can overcome his inability to write and understand spelling. But if he's good at reading, if he's good with math, encourage in those areas and help him with the kind of an aid in this one particular area where he is bad. Again, if the child has some kind of an alternate skill, for example, if he's good at sports, if he's good at music, if he's good at poetry reciting, if he's good with people, interacting with people, encourage the child to do that. And when he gets some kind of an accolade, some kind of an appreciation in that area, that will help to build his self-esteem and compensate for this one disabled area where he has low self-esteem. So this is exactly what you need to do. A lot more things to know about learning disability, and if you want to know more about that, you can actually contact us at the Inner Quest, that is our center, and you can also log on to our website, which is the www.theinnerquest.com. So thank you and bye-bye. Take care.